How has the COVID-19 pandemic affected you so far?
Well, I did catch the virus in like July. It was pretty rough at first, and then, I got cured or whatever. And it wasn't that bad. I mean, I was in the process of moving, like when I caught it, so it was kind of hard, like, moving from place to place and just, settling down. But I mean, I'm here, so.
So explain what happened. Explain how you found out you had gotten it and give me the whole story there.
Yeah, so I actually went to like this little function and, we was passing the blunt. And then a few days later, like I found out, two of those people I passed the blunt with were tested positive for it. And, so I was kind of scared. And I ended up like feeling, like some symptoms, I think probably like 5 days later. And I got tested and I came back positive, and I was in bed, like I was bedridden for real. Like it was bad at first, but yeah.
What symptoms did you experience at first?
I couldn't smell, I couldn't taste. I was what was it called? Like when you have like the chills, like I was in bed, like I really, like my body was sore. I had the chills, like it was just, I had a fever. It was terrible at first.
Do you know how high the fever got?
I don't know, no. I didn't have a thermometer to check.
And when it came to the smell, when it came to the taste, do you eventually get that back?
Yeah, you do. It like I wasn't able to like smell or taste like probably like a week or so after I found out I was positive. So at first I was like, okay, maybe it's just a cold. But then once I couldn't smell or taste, I was like, oh yeah, it's corona.
Did you lose both senses at the same time, or one first and then the other?
I think it was at the same time, yeah.
And when you lose sense of smell or taste, you had just woken up and it was gone, or was this the middle of the day and you figure something's not right?
I feel like, yeah, I think I woke up and it was like that. I think so. Yeah, I don't really remember.
Were you freaking out?
I wasn't actually. I was okay with it because I was just like, okay, I know I have it. Like, I know what I got to do to, to get rid of it. But I feel like my grandma, she's like a nurse. And so she was freaking out. And she was just like, oh my God, I'm so scared for you. And I was just like, I don't know. I feel like I wasn't really freaking out as much as I should have been.
So what was the actual, because we talked about different symptoms that you experienced, what was the actual order of the symptoms as in chronological?
Well, from what I can remember, my throat started itching first, and it was like really weird because my throat don't really itch, and like I feel like I don't really get sick that often either. So I knew something was up. And then the very next day, I was super dizzy. Like when I woke up, I was kind of nauseous, and I like couldn't really like move. Like I couldn't really like stand up, even go to the bathroom. And then I believe the next thing was like the chills, like a fever, chills, whatever, same thing. And then, my body was also really achy. Like my whole body hurt. Like it was like sore almost. And then I believe it was the taste and smell gone, so.
And that was day 3, all those items there?
No, I think taste and smell was like a week after. Like that came last for some reason. Yeah.
Oh, okay, so day 1 of symptoms that you noticed days after the blunt was passed and, 2 people show up positive. It was just the itchy throat.
Yeah, it was just the itchy throat.
Nothing else.
Yeah, that was it at first. It was like 1 or 2 days of that, yeah.
When you got the itchy throat, you were already aware that 2 people had tested positive?
Yeah, I think so, yeah.
So when you got the itchy throat, you're like, oh shoot, here it goes? Or did you think, could be a coincidence, maybe it's something else?
I didn't really think I had it at first, because my roommate, he actually was feeling the same thing. Like he felt the same symptoms. So then I started feeling like, okay, yeah, we definitely, because he was there at that function too. We all passed that blunt. So, I feel like, it wasn't really a coincidence anymore.
On a side note, did he end up getting positive as well?
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Now, you get this itchy throat on the first day of symptoms. Do you do anything about it? Do you take anything for it that first day, or you just let it ride naturally just because you didn't really?
Yeah, I don't think I took anything the first day. The second day, I think I started taking like emergen-c, And then I think that third day when I woke up and I was like, my body was aching, I started taking like NyQuil. I didn't take any Dayquil for some reason. I took NyQuil like all throughout the day. And it just, I don't know, I felt great, so.
So day 1, day 2, day 3, we've already described those days. At what point do you end up getting tested yourself for this?
Honestly, it took me a minute to get tested because I was scared. Like, because, you know, they put the thing in your nose and your throat, and I was just scared of that because I don't like that. So, you know, it took me like probably a week to get that done. Yeah.
And you still had symptoms the day you actually go get tested, or had symptoms started to subside and you go get tested?
No, I still had symptoms, definitely still had symptoms.
And how'd you end up getting tested?
We drove up to, you know, my healthcare provider, and it was like a drive-through thing. So we just go up to, you know, the hospital, they come outside and they just like swab you, and that was it.
So it was your regular doctor that you see that you...
I mean, it wasn't my regular doctor. It was like, you know, somebody they have out there, like a nurse or something, yeah.
But you had health insurance, so you're going through your health insurance network or that sort of thing?
Yeah.
Care to share what health insurance?
I have Kaiser.
Okay.
Yeah.
And is this something you have to end up paying for?
Yeah, you have to pay for healthcare, yeah.
Well, not healthcare, but the COVID testing, do you end up having to pay for it?
No, it was free.
Okay.
Yeah.
When it came to your opinion on Kaiser, do you have an opinion on the testing? Do you have an opinion on how they handled this? Do you have an opinion on your health insurance in regards to this experience?
No, the only thing that bothered me was like how long it took to get the results. I think it was like a week. But I understand it because they have a lot of people, you know, getting tested, but it just sucked because it's like you want to know right away. It's like, why do I have to wait a week to find out? That's the only thing I didn't like about it.
By the time you actually get the results the week later, were your symptoms still there, or they were gone at that point?
Yeah, my symptoms were like almost gone because I was just taking medication like every day. But then once they, you know, confirmed that I was positive, they ended up prescribing me a Z-Pack. And so that kind of, once I got that, it kind of just like completely got rid of it. So it wasn't, you know, it wasn't that bad.
And when you actually take the test, because there are different tests, there's mouth swabs, there's a Q-tip scenario where they don't go all the way in your nose, but they kind of go a little bit in your nose. And then there's like the OG test where they take a very long-looking stick, kind of with a Q-tip maybe on it, I don't know, but they go really deep in your nasal cavity.
Yeah.
Which one did you experience?
I had the really long one in my nasal cavity and also in my like the back of my throat. It was both of them. So.
And did you tear up during the process?
Yeah. Yeah, I was really scared. Like, I just don't like that type of stuff. I don't even like going to the doctor for real. So it was just, yeah, I was definitely tearing up.
Was it painful at all?
It wasn't painful. It was just uncomfortable.
And you teared up on each nostril and the throat? So all 3 times, or was it just one nostril? Was it the throat scenario?
It wasn't really the throat. It was mostly the nostrils, yeah.
Even though you were nervous, whoever administered this test, did they do a good job with you with it? Did they take your feelings into consideration? Did they take it easy on you?
Yeah, they definitely took it easy, yeah.
And when you get the results, how do you end up getting the results?
They send you an email.
And just for chronological order, this all happened in July, I believe you said.
Yeah, it was like the beginning of July, yep. End of June, beginning of July, yeah.
And I believe quarantine started maybe middle-ish of March.
March 15th.
So just kind of, and you said this was end of July when you actually?
It was like mid-July when I you know, yeah.
All right. And this was the only time you've ever been tested?
Yeah.
And, okay, you take the Z-Pack, the symptoms finally subside. Do you get your smell and taste back at the same time, or is it one first, then the other?
I don't remember. I really don't remember, yeah.
So when it comes to losing taste and smell, for somebody that's never experienced that symptom, what was that like? What did that feel like?
I hated it because, I love food and it's just, yeah, I just wanted to taste something. Like I remember like drinking, because I went to Chick-fil-A, me and my roommate, and we were like, yo, like, why can't we taste the lemonade? Like, it was crazy. I was so mad because it was like, I was looking forward to eating it and I couldn't even taste it. It was like pointless. It's like, what am I eating for? Like, to not taste. Like, it's weird.
Was it like drinking just plain water at that point?
Yeah, it's like you can taste like a subtle like hint of lemon, but that's it. Like, it's just terrible. Like, what?
Were you nervous or scared that you might never get it back?
No. I don't know. I don't know why I wasn't really freaking out like everyone was. Like, I was like, yo, I'm chilling. Like, I don't know. It wasn't that bad.
Because you couldn't smell or taste, did you have less of an appetite during this course? Did you eat less because it was different?
Yeah. I think I did eat less. I think I lost some weight too. Just being sick in general, you always lose weight, but yeah, I definitely wasn't eating as much as I should have been.
Do you know how much weight you actually lost during the ordeal?
Mm-mm.
What was your family's reaction to the results and you being positive? What was maybe your inner circle, your music team, your music staff? What was everybody's reaction to this?
I mean, everyone was, of course, like concerned, but I think my family was just like, well, that's what you get for being out type of, that's how they felt. They're like, well, you were out, you weren't wearing a mask, like, that's what you get. And they also didn't want me, like, coming around them because, I have, like, older family members, so.
And you actually end up you and your roommate quarantined together?
Yeah, so we both have our own rooms, so it was just kind of like we were just stayed in our rooms and that was it. But like it was cool though because like we both had it, so we were both able to be around each other. Like if we had to go to the store, we can go together, stuff like that. Even though we weren't supposed to be going to the store, we had to though because no one, we didn't have anyone else to go. Yeah.
What I know that there are apps and services that will go get items for you. Like there's a service that can get items at Walmart or Target or Publix or whatever grocery shopping brands that are out there. Were those available? Were those?
Yeah, they were available, but I feel like, this sounds bad to say, but we just were bored. Like we didn't want to be inside. Like, because you're supposed to quarantine, you're supposed to be inside, like not supposed to be around anyone. We just got to the point where we were like, yo, we need to get out the house. So we ended up just going, and we weren't supposed to, but we were very careful when we went. Like we wore gloves, we wore a mask, like we weren't, we stayed, we social distanced. We weren't, super close to people. So.
And was this before you actually get the results? Or
yeah,
was
this is
after?
before we got the results. Once we got the results, we were like, all right, yeah, we definitely chilling. Like we not going out.
And how long do you actually, after you get the results, how long do you actually stay inside and not go out for?
They said 14 days. So, yeah, 14 days I was inside.
When the 14 days were up, do you have to end up getting another test to prove you're negative?
Yeah, you have to get another test. That's what they require. So, and then I think I had to like travel to the East Coast like right after that. So I had to get a test, yeah.
And you were negative?
Mm-hmm.
Do they have to test you twice, like once and then 24 hours later test you again to like make sure double confirmation you're negative, or is it just one test?
Nah, I think it's just one. Yeah, pretty sure.
When you did go out because of your boredom, did you feel guilty?
Yeah. Definitely felt guilty. I was feeling so sick. Like every time I would go outside, like I was sweating like crazy. Like, cause you get you have a fever, like, and you're either like super cold or you're super hot. And so I was just feeling super, I was sweating a lot. And I was just in the store like, yo, I should not be out here right now. Like it was crazy.
Was it just one store run during that time period?
Yeah, it was Walmart.
Now, did anybody else aside from the people at that function or that event, did anybody else in 2020, whether it was a family member, relative, close friend, somebody you work with in music, did you know anyone else that had corona prior to this or caught COVID-19 prior to this? Or?
Actually, no. Nope, I really don't.
And I know that 2 people tested positive at that party you went to or that function. and then you and your roommate did, so that's 4 people. Was it just you 4 out of that party, or did you find out others?
I think it was just us 4. Yeah, I'm pretty sure it was just us 4.
Could you ever figure out who had it? Could you ever figure out who gave it to, who spread it?
Nah, we don't know. We really don't know.
Just for the record, how many people were at the function? Obviously, it was 4 at least.
I believe it was like 10 of us maybe. Because I remember like they were saying like don't gather in crowds more than like 12 people or something like that. So we had 10 people there, and 4 of us caught it.
And how were the rules in California at the time in July? Were they pretty strict on things?
Yeah, they were pretty strict. Like everything, I think we had a curfew around that time actually. That was like when the whole Black Lives Matter movement was going on, like, we were rioting and stuff. And so they definitely had curfews going on.
And were a lot of places closed? Were restaurants, bars closed at that time?
Yeah, everything closed like early. Like it was like a curfew. So like I think it was like 7 o'clock, like everything was like closed.
So you had gone to that function. Prior to that, were you mostly staying inside during that time in July? Or would you, I don't know if it was quarantine exhaustion or boredom, or was this, were there other function you had gone to in July, or prior to that, would you venture out?
Not
or
really.
You pretty
like,
much stayed inside?
That was the first one that I went to, so I was kind of upset that I caught it from that, because it was like the first time I went out in a minute, I wasn't really going out before then.
And what led you to go out that one time?
I don't know. I really don't remember. I think my friend, he just persuaded me to, and I was like, fuck it, why not?
I didn't know if you were just tired of being inside, you were tired of quarantine.
I'm a homebody, so it's not tired of being inside, but it's just, I don't know, I think they just, forced me to.
Were you doing music at the time at all, in the midst of this?
Yeah, I mean, I always write, like I'm always writing, and, my roommate, he does produce, he has his own little setup, so, we used to record all the time, so.
Have you mentioned this in any of your music?
Mm-mm.
Okay.
Not yet.
Now, what did this whole ordeal that you experienced, getting COVID-19, what did that teach you? What did you learn from that, if anything?
I feel like it was probably just like, don't take everything for granted. I feel like I didn't think it was real. Like I really did not think COVID was real. I thought it was like, the government was just saying something. It was like a distraction because the election was going on. Like I really didn't like think it was serious. But then, when I caught it, I was like, okay, this is serious. Like, because people are really dying from it, and it is very serious. So it's just kind of like, don't take it for granted. Don't take things for granted.
You were a homebody like you described, and you stayed inside.
Mm-hmm.
When you did go out, did you mask up? Did you follow the rules, or you weren't taking that serious?
No, I definitely did mask up. Yeah, for sure.
And after you experienced this, did you take things more serious? Did you stay inside more? Did you mask and glove up more, or what?
I mean, yeah, but that at the same time, I was kind of like, yo, I already caught it, so there's no way I can catch it again. But then, there are some people that are like, yo, you can catch it again. Like, it could happen again. So it was kind of like, I don't know. It's kind of back and forth with it.
Anything you would say to somebody watching this right now? Any message in regards to your experience, or maybe there's somebody right now that's under the weather from this, experiencing symptoms and positive themselves, and watching this clip, hearing your story?
I mean, yeah, I would just say, take it seriously. It's not a joke. Social distance, drink your tea, take your medication,
And one last question.
Mm-hmm.
Did you and your roommate, did you guys finish your symptoms together at the same time, or did one clear up earlier than the other, or what?
I think I started feeling better before he did. I think so, yeah.
Just curious.
Mm-hmm.
And do you think, this is your opinion, do you think you got it from your roommate? Do you think your roommate, do you think you got it from one another, or it could have been anybody at that function that you got it from?
I feel like it could have been anybody, honestly. Yeah, because I was with him for a minute. Like, you know, he's been my roommate for a minute. So I was like, I don't know. I just felt like it was probably somebody from that function. Had to have been.
Are you done blunt passing?
Yes. Like, after that, I was not trying to smoke at all with anybody. Like, if I was smoking, it was by myself. Because I was so scared. I was like, nah, I can't do this.